So this cash book has been categorized. This cash book has been categorized. Like we need to know in this chapter of the cash book, we need to know the purpose of cash book. Why do we need this cash book? So you need to understand the purpose or why do we need a cash book. So we have to look at why do we need the cash book. So tukishajua why do we need the cash book, then we ask ourselves, what are the types of cash book? What are the types of what? Types of cash book we have. The types of cash book, the types of cash book, the types of cash book we have, the type of cash book we have. So once we are through with the types of cash book we have, then we have now maintenance of cash book. Maintenance of a cash book. Maintenance of cash book. Maintenance of cash book goes most of the companies, they don't they neglect these cash book, and you find that where there is a loophole, a lot of money goes out through the cash book. And then after that, we look at the petty cash, which is still it is under these cash book types. So I will not write that one, but we'll have I think the other list are just the types. It will fall under the types of cash book. It will fall under the types of cash book. It will fall under the type of cash book. So let's explain now the meaning of the cash book. What is the cash book? What is the definition of a cash book? What is the definition of a cash book? So you can write and say, najua hawezi ongea, nimeweka mic. So if there is any question, tunaweza chat. Then I will remove the mic if you want to ask anything. So you can raise your hand hapo ukiweka ukitaka kuuliza anything. So we can briefly explain what is cash book. What is cash book? So unaweza andika, cash book is a unique subsidiary book. Cash book is a unique subsidiary book. Is a unique subsidiary book. Then another point, you say the cash book is used. The cash book is used to record. The cash book is used to record every transaction involving cash receipts, or cash payment, Then another point to say, any transaction that involve cash or check, is recorded in cash column, or the bank column of the cash book, cash book. That is the definition. And we have now to look at the types of cash book. The types of cash book we have. So the types of cash book, we have the main cash book. And then we have petty cash. Petty cash book. We have the main cash book and we have the petty cash book. So let's start with the main cash book. So we write something on to the main cash book. And then to say, The main cash book can be differentiated. Najua leo umeandika a lot of literature, but it is good to get such knowledge also. Say the main cash book can be differentiated by the nature of the transaction, can be differentiated by the nature of the transaction. So we have a simple, we have the simple or single column cash book under the main one. Also, we have sub type here. So we have the single column cash book, and then we have two column cash book, and then we have three column cash book. We have three column cash book. We have single column cash book, and also we have two column cash book, and also we have three column cash book. So since we are not going to do any exam, then we have to look at all of it. So this one, you don't need to write the literature, but you have to understand the format. So the format is always the same for all, but now the columns in a change. So we are introducing more columns as we go down. So let's start with the format of a single column cash book. A format of a single column cash book. Format of a single column cash book. So the format here, I think this is Mshandika. We have date, After date, you have particulars or the item or remarks. After particulars, then you write the folio or the page. The folio is simply page. And then after that, we'll have amount. This is for the side of we have amount. I know my space is not enough. So this on this side is debit. So this is debit. So you will repeat the same. On this side, but you call it credit. So repeat the same: date, particular, folio, and amount on credit. Because space if is not enough, so you can repeat the same, all of this on the credit side. Maybe you can also rule. So repeat it on this side also. And amount. So are you done? Then we go to the two-column cash book. So you find that this one is the most of the companies, they use this one, because when you go to the practical fields, we use the systems. These systems like QuickBook, CFFE, ERPs. So ERPs, they don't have the two-column cash book and the three-column cash book. So you find that you have only one ledger for cash ledger, which is this one. So even they don't have debit and credit, they don't have debit and credit. They only have this format. They only have this format, but you find that amount here, it can be negative and positive. It can be negative and positive. So the system tried to summarize it in one cash book ledger. So they don't have this one. But if you are doing the reporting, you separate this column payment and receipt so that you can have two columns here. But that one is on the practical part. But here we are learning to get that concept. So let's look at now the two column cash book. Two column cash book. Two column cash book. So two column cash book, we have date also, we have particulars, and then the first page folio, call it F, and then you will have cash and bank. So you will have also the same on the other side, date, particulars, folio, cash, and also bank, and also bank. So here you can put two columns to show that you're moving to the debit part, credit part. So this one now we are separating the cash and bank. We are separating the cash and bank. We are separating the cash and bank. Separating the cash and bank. So tukishaandika hiyo, we move to the three-column cash book. We move to the three-column cash book. We move to the three-column cash book. Three-column cash book is the same with this. Three-column cash book is the same with this. It's only that we introduce a new column. We introduce a new column. Tukienda three-column cash book, three-column cash book. So you can fix your, you draw a new one, but now I will introduce another column here. I will introduce another column here. This column, you call it discount allowed. Discount allowed. So I hope you have seen. So just after on your page, you introduce a new column and then call it discount allowed. The same case here, we introduce a new column here and then we call it discount received. Discount received. Discount received. So draw that and then we look at some of the illustration. Nimeshamaliza. So we'll start with the illustration for single one. Or simple. So you will write illustration one, which would indicate the following transactions are listed in the books of John Pool Enterprise. The following transaction are listed in the books of John. John Pool Enterprises for the month of June. 2023. For the month of June 2023. And then, so you will arrange in this format. So you will write the month. The month here is the month of June 2023. So you will write one. Then we have the first transaction. So, and then here you write there and put in shillings there. So the first transaction, I think it is good we put it in, no, but so just put shilling. We have the cash balance. So, and look at the first one here, cash balance of 18,330. That is there on the first date, 1st June 20. The second date we have, so no. Also we have cash at bank on the same date, 306, 240 date. Second, we have settled Abdullahi account. By check. After deducting 5% a cash discount. After deducting 5% cash discount. And then on date 5, we have been told the cash sales to date paid into the bank. Cash sales to date are paid into the bank. So the amount is 51,060 shillings. Date 7. Received and bank check from ESA. Received and bank checked from ESA. In settlement of his account. Settlement of his account. So we have a received and bank check for that is 18,870 the amount, and then date 10 we have been told paid paid. I hope umeshaandika hii. So I can grab these. On date 10 of June, we said paid Bachu. That is the name of a person, or sijui ni jina ama 50. We paid 57 shillings, 57 shillings, and 57 shilling and 500 by check, and 500 by check, and he allowed 250 cash discount, and he allowed 250 cash discount. Another one, date 15, cash sales paid into bank, cash sales paid into bank, nangapi 46,950, 46,950, 46,950, 46,950 required. There is no amount for Abdullahi account. Ajandika amount. Said it was what set date to 640. The amount is 640. Amount is 640. Amount is 640. Amount is 640. So I want to rewrite all the illustrations. That one is for 3-column cash book. So you can't write up there 3-column cash book. That's why you can have a discount. That's why upate kuna cash discount hivyo hivyo. And then now we can have now for the simple one, which it is just the list of assets. So you will write illustration 2, then to take in bracket the single cash book, a simple cash book. And then you say Mr. K business, ama bado kuna ingine ijakuwa complete kwa ile. So tutaijua tu kama hatukuandika the full information tukifanya the question. So then now the second illustration to say Mr. K business, Mr. K business Mr. K business with S. Mr. K business a transaction for the month of January 2011. The month of January 2011 is as follows. So you will write also in this format. January date 1. January date 1. January date 1, you say cash balance brought forward. So in account, the short form of cash brought forward inaandikwa hivi. That is the short form. That is the short form instead of writing the full word. So andika cash brought forward 500,000. 500,000. Date 3. Say cash received from happiness. Cash received from happiness 200,000. Cash received from happiness 200,000. Date 4. Purchased goods for cash. Purchased goods for cash 150,000. 150,000. Date 10. Poured stationery. Poured stationery for cash 50,000. Poured stationery for cash 50,000. 50,000. Date 12. Date 12. Purchased goods for cash. Purchase good for cash 45,000. 45,000. Date 13. Date 13. Cash sales to date. Cash sales to date 65,000. 65,000. Number 15 or date 15. Cash withdrawn. Cash withdrawn 10,000. Cash withdrawn 10,000. Date 18. Date 18. Cash sales to date. Cash sales to date 12,000. Cash sales to date 12,000. And then date 22. Date 22. Purchased goods for cash. Purchase good for cash 100,000. Purchase good for cash 100,000. Date 25. Date 25. Cash sales to date 70,000. Cash sales to date 70,000. Date 30th, watu kulipwa mshahara. Paid wages in cash. Paid wages in cash 15,000. 15,000. Date 31st. Date 31st. Paid rent in cash 40,000. Paid rent in cash 40,000. And then to write, you are required to prepare a simple cash book. You are required to prepare a simple cash book of Mr. K from the above transaction. From the above transaction. The above transaction. From the above transaction. So kuna kitu hujasikia? Help. May not everything. So in accounts, the headings is very important for the purpose of reporting. So reports in accounts, say ati report ile kutype unaandika a lot of literature. No, a report is just a simple. So you will write Mr. K, simple cash book, Mr. K simple cash book, and then to say it, is it asset or for the so for assets, we use asset. For incomes, we say for the month or for the period. So this one will be asset 31st January 2011. Asset 31st January 2011. Asset 31st January 2011. So we will have our date. We have our date here. After date, particulars. And then after particulars, the folio page, which, and then after folio, have amount. So repeat also from the other side, date, particular, F on the page, and then we have amount. So date, this one is January 2011. So date one, we have balance brought forward, 500,000. So page, you can decide to put your own page, but it is not necessary. 500,000. And then tukaambiwa cash received from happiness akatulipa. So unakuja which date? That is date 3. Utakuja hapa, you receive pesa from who? Happiness. So maybe happiness is our supplier of what? 200,000. 200,000. And then purchase good for cash of 150,000. So which is date 4? To come here, date 4, we have purchases. We have not been told if purchases. So we just write purchases of 150,000. 150,000. That's why we are debiting this and crediting this. So this is debit and this is credit. And then date 10, hold stationery for cash. So you will write date 10, you will write stationery. For stationery ilikuwa na 150,000. 50,000. And then date 12, purchase good for cash also. Date 12, we have purchases tuna credit because pesa inatoka 45,000. 45,000. And then we have cash sales to date. So cash sales to date, then which one is that date? Date 13. We have cash sales, or the sales account. The sales account is the one to write here because we will credit it. It is a double entry. If you debit the cash book, then you will credit the cash. You will credit the sales. Sorry, you will credit the sales. So tuko nayo 65,000. 5,000. And then we have cash withdrawn. So we have here date 15 drawings. So account affected is a drawings account.